crossing wires here. All right. Come to the edge. We might fall. Come to the edge. It's too high. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed, and they flew. Have you heard that before? I love it. It's a new poet, Christopher Lowe. And I think it's such a beautiful metaphor for, how we know our limits, right? But we don't know our boundlessness. We don't know the energy and the power that we have inside of us that is so incredibly big, that we can do what we set out to do, that the power of the universe runs through us and is wise and intelligent and healing, and it's got all of these incredible natural intelligence. See, we are so naturally intelligent, and we focus on our limits is what that whole thing is about. We are multi-dimensional beings, and we get stuck just thinking we are these little humans. And once we get it, who we really are, there isn't anything that we can't do. Peace will come when we know who we are. Our source is unlimited. Our source is connected. Our source is all. When we were in ministerial school, I know this because I flunked this question. I got it wrong. I think you got it right, Judy. It was, what is God? Omnipresent, omniscient, and there's another one. See, I missed it too. But what I know it is, it's all-knowing, all powerful, and everywhere present. Right? That's what God is. That's easier than the omnis. So that's what I remember. All-knowing, everywhere present, all-powerful. That's what we learned that God was, right? See, but the truth is, when you think of God out there, it doesn't work for me. When I think of God in here, right, that God's within us, God's everywhere, connected, it's like I'm all powerful, because I've got a piece of God in me. I'm all powerful. I'm everywhere present. I'm all-knowing. And that's the natural intelligence that we're talking about. See? And if we're talking about this divine field that we live in, this divine field, this divine matrix that Greg Braden talks about. And it is a field connected to not just each other, but everything, every plant, every animal, every rock, every candle, every flower. It's all connected. We have the same, we're one energy, one field, manifested out as each and every one of us. And there's an intelligence to all of it, an intelligence that I think they called weird science. I think Einstein called it weird science. I mean, it's scientists believe this. This is so true. But everything, there's a saying in the Bible, everything works together for those who love God. That's what we're talking about. Everything works together. The plants, the animals, we're talking about Earth Day, everything outside works together with us for those who love God. Loving God is saying yes to life. It's opening up to something deep inside of us. There was a time, that people trusted the nature, and they trusted the animals, and they trusted the mountains. The soul of an animal had answers. The soul of a mountain had answers. The souls of earth had the answers, and they trusted it. And they spoke to the souls of trees. They worked with all of creation. And in these previous cultures, they would ask, why would we try to live without the light? Because we wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know what to do. And it's changed a lot now. And we think we're the intelligent ones because we got a brain. And the truth is that there's a heart intelligence in everything. The Polynesians used to navigate the seas using whales and birds. The first people listened to plants and animals and rocks. They knew that the world was alive, and now we're finding out that everything is alive. Everything vibrates, even rocks. Everything is alive in the universe, and we have forgotten this. That's why Earth Day is so important for us to remember that we are brothers and sisters and with everything that's alive. But we're so aware of our own power, but not the power of the earth. Our true self is an energy that is loving, that is discerning, that is rich with healing power. We have that healing power within us. And the truth is, until we plug in to something deeper, and I like the word plug in because I can actually see it. If you plug in to the universe and to God, we get this. And you know how we know that it's working in our life with synchronicities? Judy kind of touched on that. But I want to touch on that because to me, synchronicities and coincidences and think the signs in our life are so huge. They're important because we realize that there's more working around the universe than we ever could have imagined. So we just see in our little limited view. But I'll tell you the truth is that there's a term, it's synchronicity, and it was coined by Carl Jung, and it means meaningful coincidences, you know? And he believed that there was a glimpse into the underlying order of the universe. There's signs, there's a destiny for each of us. And when we follow it, and when we tune in, when we plug in, we start to get these signs, we start to see synchronicities. So we coined the term synchronicity, which means a causal connecting principle that links mind and matter, right? Links mind and matter. He said that this underlying connectedness manifests itself through meaningful coincidences or the synchronicities in our life. And I guess science now is proving that, you know, it's not all just this woo-woo stuff that we talk about here at New Age churches, you know? That's not what it's about. It's deep, it's true, it's scientific, it's quantum physics, it's fractal geometry, it's chaos theory. Isn't it, Peter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I knew you would know that. You know, but the truth is that it's what, I think it was Einstein, I might be wrong, that said it's weird science, because it's weird, you know, to us. But the truth is, it's incredibly interesting, it's incredibly fascinating to know that this world works like this. Synchronicities are sometimes regarded as signs. We see signs. Did you ever read the Celestine Prophecy years and years ago? I think I read it, you know, when I first started this journey as a young woman. And I remember it just kind of changed my life when I started to read about, you know, signs and about synchronicities, about what it was all about. And so I reread it again this weekend. I kind of looked through it and, wow, you know, it has some amazing wisdom truths in there. Truths that are revealed through all of the wisdom traditions that we talk about every day. That's what this book talked about. Synchronicities show us that the universe orchestrates our life events. We can welcome them, and the more that we see them, this is so true, and I'll tell you, I got a story to tell you. This is so true that when we start to see the synchronicities in our life, when we start to see the signs in our life, more start to happen. Like today, when you leave here, I bet you're going to see some synchronicities. Look, if you look for it, open up and say, you know, tell me God, show me God, you know, show me universe, what's going on, and you're going to see signs in your life because this happens. Weird stuff started to happen as I started to work on this talk. I got a girlfriend, Karen, really close childhood friend that lives up in Washington State. And I hadn't heard from her for a while. She was isolating, and I knew she had been isolating. So I called her, and we had a nice talk. And it was about, we talked about energy. And I like to talk about energy because I think that's, you know, we are energy beings, right? It starts in us. The energy starts and manifests out as something else. So we kind of talked about that. And this isolating energy that she was doing. And I said, you know, we're these energy beings. And I think, you know, if maybe your energy is like blocked, and maybe if you call, you know, these friends that, you know, how she said her friends would back off from her and things like that. And I said, I bet if you text them, you know, and she's a little nervous about doing it, but just, you know, break the energy a little bit. Just talk to one of them. Well, anyway, as she did, she ended up doing that. We hung up, and she ended up texting somebody, and everything shifted for her. Everything started to shift. All of a sudden, her friends started to call back. They had a deep talk, and all of these things started happening, she said. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is this, and this is connected to what I just told you. She's got some leg challenges. She's got a kind of a disease that her legs get numb, and she can't walk very well. But she has to go to the bus stop to get groceries. She doesn't have a car, so she goes to the bus stop, and it's cold out. Well, she was completely out of toilet paper. Someone talked about toilet paper. She's completely out of toilet paper, she said. And she had to get ready, and she had to go to the store, and she can't walk very well. She had to catch a bus and all this just to get some darn toilet paper, right? So she was telling me this on the phone, and as she was starting to get ready and kind of, you know, going, I don't want to do this, there's a knock at the door, right? So she goes to the door, and the UPS guy is there with a big box of toilet paper. Okay? Now this is interesting. Now here's the truth, is that she calls me and tells me this, and she texts me and she goes, oh my God, Glenda, this happened to me, you know. She goes, I know you sent that. And I said, I did. And I want to tell you the other end of this. You know, I know that she has a hard time, you know, getting out. And so I send her a box from Amazon every so often of groceries. And I always send these like heavy groceries, right, that she can't carry on the bus. So, you know, the potatoes or the the soda or something, the milk that is hard for her to carry. I send these, and Amazon delivers them. They have this neat thing, Pantry Fresh or something, and you have them delivered to her house. So I do that every so often. And as I was doing this, on the day I sent the toilet paper, I would never send toilet paper, but I kept getting this pop-up screen, right, that on my computer that said, my basket isn't full, you need one more item. And the only item that kept popping up was this toilet paper, and it's weird because I would never send toilet paper because it's too light, right? She could get that herself. But I threw it in the basket because my basket wasn't full, and I put it in. And so, she gets it, goes to her door, and the other stuff arrived earlier, but the toilet paper came by itself that next day. Synchronicity, you guys. There's no way I would have known that. My life is filled with those, and the more that I start to remember, and I've told this story a million times, and I know you have a million of these stories, so I won't go on and on, but wow, it's like when Fred died, and I said, Fred, what's going on, where are you, and I get a license plate that says, I am fine, right in front of me. The day my mom died, well, it would have been a few days after, because I had her ashes in the back seat. I always drove by this sign that said Meredith Furniture. It was always lit up in red, right, every day. Okay, so I'm driving the day I have the ashes with her, and the M-E-R is burned out. And the E-D-I-T-H, which is her name, Edith, is the only thing that shows. So it's Edith, And I go, wow, there's so much stuff that we just don't get. That's the weird science. What is going on here? What orchestrates this? You guys, there's something out there. There's a natural intelligence in not just here, it's down here. It's in each other. It's in the plants, it's in the animals, it's in the toilet paper. It's in all of it, And I mean, it's so exciting to think that we don't know what's going on. To me, that's exciting. I don't like thinking, that I know everything because I know nothing, And I like the idea of the mystery that we really don't know, but we know something's there that is supporting us, that is taking care of us, that is loving us. Something that is there bigger than we can ever imagine. And that's what the whole idea, I had this whole list of insights from the Celestine prophecy, but I'm getting short on time. But basically, what the insights, there was 9 insights from the Celestine prophecy. And basically what it says is that this universe is magic. It's magic, it's sacred, it's beautiful. Every single thing in it, every little ant, every little, flower is so sacred and vibrating with the energy of love. Everything is. And when we plug in, we become a part of it. We become a part of it, and that's where we get our answers. Is that we get out of our limited self, we come to the edge, right? We get out of our limited self and we know deeply, that we are boundless, that we are infinite, that we are connected to this sacred source. And we have this personal reconnection then with God, because that's what God is. God's all of it. God is the energy manifested as each and every person here. And in this awareness, we start to see patterns, we start to see synchronicities, we start to see everything. And then when we do, part of what the insight says that other people do, we are spreading the word by being it, right? And we're it, and then somebody else is it, and our universe changes. Our universe gets more peaceful because we have gotten more peaceful. Everything changes. This is a new culture that we started within us. So each of us here is on an assignment. Each of us is on an assignment to know who you are, to come to the edge, right? To know that you can fly, because boy, you can fly, and when you don't know it for yourself, find a friend who knows that for you, because it's so huge. It's so huge in our life. I sound like Bernie Sanders now. Huge. So let me close with this, because you know what? What we're talking about here, the energy, the sacredness, this wholeness is love. It's always love. Love, love, love. That's all there is in the universe. That's all there is. Love and fear, and there's no really fear. Fear's here, there's only love. Remember that? But love is not an intellectual concept or a moral imperative or anything else. It's the background emotion that exists when one is connected to the energy that is available in the universe, which is, of course, the energy of God. My prayer for all of us is that we come to the edge and we fly. Thank you.